Well, hey, all my favorite internet people. Thanks for coming by at the Sprue again today. So I just wanted to kind of go off on a branch and have a little bit of a oddball topic today. So I'm not going to do a stash ad video yet because it's not the end of the month. Not the usual time for my stash ad videos, but I did recently acquire some kits and I got to looking at them and I kind of like, somebody needs to go check on Revell because I don't know if they're doing okay. So, like, Revell, are you good? Like, what's going on here? Let's take a look at what I'm seeing. Alright, so a couple of kits that I just picked up, and I'm going to compare, not the entire contents, I can do that later if people are of interest, but so I picked up the freshly reissued Chevy Luv High Roller kit, and I want to compare a couple of things with the last issue of the Chevy Luv Street Pickup. And then I also got the Captain Hook Wrecker, which is it's the only time that these decals have actually been offered in the kit, and I want to compare a little bit with the previous issue here from the truck series, I got the model year wrong, 77 GMC Wrecker. So I'm going to face the camera down to the desk here and show you exactly what it is that I'm a little unsure about, or I guess not unsure about, I question why choices were made. How about that? Okay, so first, let's take a look at the Luv here. So, as we all know, this is an original monogram tool. Not exactly sure why they went with Revell High Roller, considering the original High Roller series was always done as monogram. It could have something to do with the Jimmy High Roller that they are putting out. That's the same thing as the Stranger Things Blazer, but that's a topic for a different video. So, of note, obviously, is this. They're very proud of this. Made in the USA. This time it's actually printed into the box. It's not a sticker. And if we look here, it says only made in USA. Manufactured by Car Revell, GmbH, all that fun stuff. So we got our bits and bobs talking about the kit and the colors that you need, and some build-ups of the kit. You know, this is all stuff that other people have covered before, so I don't feel the need to go over this. So here we have the previous issue. So this one here, Chevy Luv, it's still, this time here, the Made in USA is just a sticker. It is labeled as a monogram. Now this, time is a flat circle. I thought this just came out last year. No. This was put out in 2020. Oops. Alright, so we got manufactured by Revell in 2020, molded in the USA. But then we also have here, the box was printed in Poland. The decals were made in Italy. The tires were made in China. Plastic parts molded in the USA, packaged in the USA. So we got the whole supply chain listed here on this one. And this one here, it only just says made in USA. So that to me signifies that the entire supply chain for this was made in the USA. Now, that's possible. So the other thing I want to look into. So these are the instructions that come with this. Decals, we'll look at that in a minute. So here's our instruction sheet that comes with this kit, and it is extremely basic. Not what we've expected from Revell lately. So we opened it up, and like this is it. This is the entirety of the instruction sheet. So we just have this one page with all of the steps, and then we have our decal placements, and then flip it over on the back. At least now we still have our text spruminac, so there's still that at least, and the instructions for doing decals. So I mean, this harkens back to, you know, the old Revell, or not Revell, sorry, the old monogram style of instructions, which is what this kit would have had originally when it was first issued, where it's just all kind of on one page. So that's kind of interesting. A choice was made. In comparison, we look at the instruction sheet from 5 years ago for pretty much the exact same kit. We have a little booklet style, which is what we're kind of used to, right? So we open it up, we got our colors, we got our spruminac, and then we have multi-page with larger pictures showing us how to put everything together and all of our decal placement. So let's compare the two decal sheets, shall we? Something just went on the floor. I'm going to need to get that. So these would seem to be done by a similar contractor, if not the same contractor. 5 years difference between these two decals, but they're both printed on white backing paper, and they're both of similar quality. I mean, these are really good decals still. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. And now the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to discuss, choices were made. So this is this tree. In every other version of the Chevy Luv kits that have been put out, whether it's the street pickup, the step-sider, Mojave Mule, you know, all the different versions of the Luv that have been released, this tree has been chrome. Why is it not chrome anymore? And you can clearly see, like, it's the exact same tree, right? Like, okay, this portion here is the exact same, and you can see on this chrome plated one where the swappable parts are to change the inserts to give you your high roller wheels and bumper, and no mirror. So this truck doesn't have a mirror at all. Oh, it has different kinds of mirrors, sorry. Funny enough, neither of these wheels are accurate for a Chevy Luv. It should have a 6-bolt. These are 5, these are 8. Anyway, so yeah, this is a choice, okay? Let me move some things around and we'll talk about the GMC. Okay, so moving along to the GMC Wrecker. So now we finally have the right model year, 1979 GMC Wrecker. Whenever they put a model year on this kit, it's always been the wrong one. So again, here we have the printed on the box, made in USA. And here again, we have the made in USA, no other supply chain noted. Yeah, so that's all the same stuff. Now if we look at this one here, so this is the most recent reissue of this kit. It has been in production for many of years. This box, I think, okay, so this box has a year on it of 2011, but on the underside of the box, which is still full of the parts, so I can't take it out to show you, but anyway, there's a date of 2015 on that one. So this was in production for at least 4 years. I have two of these, this boxing, and both of them have been tinkered with, so I don't have an unmolested one to look at. But again, if we look over here, we have our plastic parts molded in the USA, packaged in the USA, printed in China, tires molded in China. Alright. And there's no Made in USA stickers on that one at all. And now, just like with the High Roller Luv, we have this new simplified instruction sheet. Now, if you've read my article on these kits, you'll know that this is a Revell tooling through and through. It's a 25th scale. It's been around. It was originally tooled by Revell in Venice before they started getting absorbed by other companies. But again, we have our one-page instruction sheet. Tells you how to build everything. Household cable not included for the threaded cable. Yeah, anyway. And then we go on to the back and we get our decal instructions and, you know, how to put the decals on. This one does not have our text-based Spruminac. Alright. And then we have our lovely Captain Hook decals. Oh, but that was something else. Revell usually has been really good at when they reissue these kits, older legacy kits, they will put extra interior decals and stuff on them, so then you get like your gauge clusters and door panel details and stuff like that. None of that for this one. We just have only the Captain Hook decals, and that's it. And then we compare with the instructions from, you know, 10 to 14 years ago. We have our colors, and we still have a Spruminac, and larger pictures for the instructions. I mean, it's pretty much all the same artwork, just in a different format. Look, it's even stapled together. It's just like a little booklet. Right? Oh. And more instructions. Thread for how to do the hook. And then our decal instructions, generic ones for this issue. But then, again, our tree. It's not chrome. And again, every single version of this kit that's ever been issued from when it was new. Well, so for the Wrecker, all the versions of the Wrecker version of this tooling have always had chrome. And you can see that it's the same tree. This one here has some parts pulled off of it already, because I was going to use the Wrecker bed on something else. But yeah, that's a choice. No chrome in this kit either. Now, I can hear you saying, oh, but Chris, that's just how, you know, that's just how Revell's doing things now in 2025 for these made in the USA kits. Well, okay, we got something else to look at. Let me clear off again. Alright, okay, so now we'll take a look at this guy here. So this is the Wide Sides 84 Dually. I'm not going to get into this kit too much. If you want to know more about this, I'll have an article on it. You can check out the article. I'll link it in my description below. But this is 2025 release, made in USA. Only the one byline for the supply chain. And doesn't even have the big fancy, you know, made in USA decals or printing or anything like that on the box. And then we take a look at our instructions. 2025 release, because it may have been manufactured in 24, but it didn't hit the shelves until 25. Here we have our instruction sheets. It's in a little booklet. We open it up. We got our colors. We got our Spruminac. This one's not stapled, but we have the bigger pictures for, you know, how to put this together. You know, more how to put the kit together, and then a nice big decal placement guide on the back. And then we go look at our decal sheet. Again, we got our beautiful decals, but these are what we have expected from Revell lately. So we have our instrument cluster, our radio, heater controls, we got all the lights, we even have headlight decals in this one, turn signals, tail lights, door panels, you know, like what's up with this? Oh, and so this kit, on a sidebar, this kit has been in the works for a very long time. I was beginning to question if it was ever going to come out. I did my, we're still waiting video at the start of the year. This was in it. But so the decal sheet was made in 2023. The kit itself and the instructions are 2024. But when did it become available? 2025. Good things take time, I guess. But then the big caveat to this kit is this one has never ever had any chromed pieces, and it's not even designed to have chrome pieces. So if you look at one of our trees here, we have the grill by itself. You would expect that to be chrome. They're not going to chrome all this stuff. And then we look at this tree here. The bumpers, you would expect those to be chrome. Well, you're not going to chrome all of this stuff. You're not going to have a chrome interior, right? And then on this tree here, we have the mirrors. Again, you would expect those to be chrome, but we got the tires and the rear suspension on it. And then in the white bag, I didn't take it apart, but the wheels are in there, but they're on the tree with the hood. So again, stuff that you wouldn't expect to be chromed. And this kit was not designed to ever have any chrome pieces, and none of the reissues of the snap kit versions of this tool have ever had any chrome. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Revell right now. Alright, so these are just some of the comments and things that caught my attention when I was looking through these kits. Please don't interpret this as any way of me bashing Revell or what they're up to. I still have a great fondness for Revell, and a good quarter of my inventory is from their wares, because I really enjoy their products, and they usually do a really good job with the reissuing of the legacy kits that they've inherited from other brands over the years. And I mean, this incarnation of Revell is a totally different company than previous versions, etc., etc., topics for other videos. So I am not bashing Revell and what they're up to, but I just found it really curious that they made the decisions that they did with these instructions and the lack of chrome with these new kits. I had to dig through and check with my inventory and the release schedule over the last couple of years to find kits that are actually still manufactured in the US, because as you know, most of the molds for these model kits aren't here anymore. They've been offshored. So yeah, if this is the kind of content that you enjoyed, let me know. Leave some likes, comments, tell your friends, tell your enemies. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment. If you didn't like what you saw, you don't have to do anything. I won't hold it against you. If you want more in-depth looks at the Wrecker or the Luv or the Ford Dually, let me know. I could do some videos on those. I do have articles for the Ford pickup and for the Wrecker. It's part of a much larger family, and there's actually a model car genealogy video that covers that I did with Lucas C. So I'll link that one as well. And now I'm really thinking I need to do an article on the Luv kits. There haven't been a lot of them, but there's a fair amount of differences between them. Anyway, I'm rambling on, so thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all around next time.